Hello, everyone. Sorry for the delay. Wow, such a big crowd. Some of you may know me. For those of you who don't, I'm one of the guys that takes care that the customers get quality products from Netcentric. So, I was talking about Facebook, which I guess you know, but what fewer of you know is that they have recently patented a technology that can determine the social class of a user. Now, but what I want you to do is to put yourself in the tester's shoes for 1 second and think, how would you test this application? Thumbs up if you think it's complicated, fairly complicated, or definitely not complicated, Dragos, you're wasting our time. Okay. So you think it's complicated. Then you and I feel alike. The complexity of the software is increasing, and we have to somehow keep up with this fast pace. Now, forgot that I have the clicker. Let's step a moment back and look at the driving trends of artificial intelligence. We have, on one hand, us, the users. You are right now connected, and the customers, meaning the companies, react to that. Companies put software at the heart of everything they do. Let's take, for instance, the car manufacturers. They are no longer producing just cars. They are incorporating artificial intelligence or smart systems that gather data, that enhance the user's experience. Now, having all this data is useful because a machine learning system, no plural, learns from it. But you have a trained system, and you need something else. You need the computing power. Cloud computing is doing this successfully in the past years. Now, you have the computing power, and you have a trained system. What you need is machine learning algorithms. This has paved the way for the wide adoption nowadays, whether you call an Uber, which has dynamic pricing we all love, or you buy an airplane ticket, or you use your phone to search for a picture. Everything incorporates some form of artificial intelligence. Now, this means that we are now witnessing some sort of paradigm shift. The software is no longer deterministic, meaning you do not have a single correct output, but rather the system generates a range of correct outputs which are all true, because the system evolves over time. Can AI do something for QA? Well, fortunately, it can. And now what I want you to do is to do a little imagination exercise using the test cycle that we have. Let's imagine that for each phase of our test cycle, we would have an artificial intelligence system that can assist us in some way. Let's begin with a test planning. Let's imagine that you have a new release. What has gone into this release? Have I done something similar in the past? What about an AI system that can crawl through all the existing regression tests and then suggest me what I have to execute and ignore everything else? Now we have the test cases, but what about test data? Have I done something similar in the past? Have I done a similar API? A sites project with the same components that we're using right now? Can we reuse the data that we used that time? And then we have our tests, but we want to create more. How about a system that can create smart execution flows based on the requirements that you fit it with? Or how about an intelligent tool that is able to scan for duplicates and remove them from your regression pack? Wouldn't it ease your work? And now we have the test. But it's always the problem of the environment. You never have the right environment, or you don't have it on time. How about an AI that is able to spawn your environment at the right time with the right data? Or let's think of something else. Let's assume that you have only 2 environments, but you have 4 testers. How about an artificial intelligence system that is able to prioritize, and then you need to execute the tests, right? And I'm thinking right now of exploratory testing. Think of the following situation. You have a new application, you have no time for it, you need to do exploratory testing, and you don't know your customer that well. How about a system that is able to crawl through your application and click it just like a user would do it? Or let's assume something else. Let's assume user experience. We did some migration projects where you need to compare 2 pages, right? You can use automation, but automation is mainly pixel perfect. How about a system that is able to eliminate that and ignore these little things that are not perfect? And we're almost done. And we need to report what we've done. How about something that can intelligently cluster everything that we found as defects and use this clustering as input for my regression or for our future regression? You may wonder what the others are doing. Well, according to the World Quality Report, more than the half of the customers that were surveyed use some sort of intelligent system in their QA pipeline. Which means one thing, that AI is definitely here to stay. Now, all this talk, you might wonder, do you have something concrete for us? Well, fortunately, we do.
Some of my friends sometimes say to me that I look like a robot. Probably because of my expressionless face. Well, robots are very good at doing highly repetitive tasks. They are very good at doing tasks in which manual input is required very much, or tasks in which there is a low expectancy of exceptions. But I am no robot. I don't do the repetitive tasks. Quite the contrary. I automate things. My name is Mihai Chermaneanu. I am a quality assurance automation for Netcentric, and I'm very happy to be here. Now, talking about AI, artificial intelligence. From some points of view, we could consider that AI could mean software that is able to perform tasks more or less intelligent in a repetitive manner. Think of a facial recognition system. It is able to evaluate, to measure various characteristics of a face, like color of the eye, distance between the ears, the size of my nose. And it uses these measurements in order to produce, in order to match the things that it measures with what it has stored in its database. Now, RPA, robotic process automation, it is a technology that allows any of you to automate things through software robots. By using software robots in this way, you can simulate with a robot anything that a user could do. Imagine how would it be to not perform the same task again and again and again. How much time would you have? What would you do with all that time? Why not let robots do their jobs? I have to tell you a secret. There is a person that I admire very much. It's a legend, I guess. And I would like you to raise your hand if you will realize who I'm talking about. So there is this software engineer that apparently managed to automate quite a lot of things in his life, like even the coffee machine in his workplace, so he could order a cappuccino through the API from his laptop. And he would even have scripts that were able to determine if he's going to be late, working late at the office, and announce his wife that he's going to be late at home. Now, inspired by this story, I thought, why don't I use RPA in order to solve a problem of mine? You see, I have a very good friend which uses to invite me quite often to his favorite pizza place. I thought, maybe I could use RPA to generate refusal emails so I don't bother with this. Send some emails. Okay. Now, in a robotic process automation system, the most minor part of it would be an activity, a simple task like clicking on something, reading a text field, writing on a text field. More activities like this, arranged in a logical order, create a workflow. Now let's see how can we use activities, workflows, in order to find the solution that we're looking for. So, as I said, we're talking about sending mails, and what we see here is a workflow with other two very simple and explicit workflows, like open browser and email login. It can't be visible here. And another workflow, send email. Let's dive deeper into one of these workflows to see what's that about. So, okay, we can see that we have some very easy to understand steps. Click on the compose button, write the email address, write the subject, write the mail, send the mail. And as you can see, like in any programming language, we have these parameters which are stored like a variable in Java or Python or whatever. Now, we could see this in action. It's going to take a little. So as you can see, it will log into the email. It will click on the compose. Any moment now. Okay, and it will send an email to, well, my address because it was not worth automating, creating another account or things like this. So, how cool is it that I can now send emails automatically like this? Isn't it cool? No. No. I could have just created a draft and basically send it. Nah, we need to complicate things. So we have this workflow, which is not very visible, I guess. Can people in the back see it? No? Okay, let's zoom some more. Now it's good. So, first of all, I would really not go outside if there are less than 5 degrees. So, at the beginning of my workflow, I have another workflow, which can be, I guess, I'm not going to show it. It just uses the browser in order to get the temperature in Bucharest and passes this value to a conditional statement, just like an if from a programming language. So if the temperature does not meet my royal standards, it's going to be false. It's going to assign to the message to be sent, Dragos, it's cold outside. and automatically go to the sending email workflow. Now, because I wanted to complicate things, let's say it is warm enough. There are 16 degrees in Bucharest right now. So maybe I should not automatically accept your invitation just because it's warm outside. So I want to manually choose if I really want to see Dragos or not. So this is an input dialog, which you will see in action later. Then, if I choose to go with Dragos, I will send him an email saying, yeah, sure, let's meet. Or if not, I have this very professional excuse generator, which I'm accessing online in order to generate an excuse to send it as a parameter for the message. So let's see it in action. I should have closed Chrome before. Sorry. Okay, so now it's the manual input that I mentioned. It's either a yay or a nay. I will choose nay because it's more interesting. And we have the excuse goose, which is now generating an excuse. Yeah, that's a very good excuse. So now it's going to just basically send an email like you've seen before with a proper excuse. Now, the thing I like about RPA is that it's not just a simple record and play tool or anything like that. It's more advanced. It's pretty close to a programming language. You have variables, you have conditionals, you have loops, breakpoints, etc. So that would be it. I hope I managed to spark an interest in you to try it.
Before you go to the next breakout sessions, we have a couple of things that we want to ask you. If you can, talk to the customers. It's not in our company's DNA to be laggards in this respect, so engage them and ask if they use such a system or how would their business and our business profit from some sort of artificial intelligence-based tool. Let's collaborate more. Our focus lays primarily with two solutions, Adobe Experience Manager and Adobe Campaign. Now, imagine that for each of these solutions, we would have a common database for bugs and for regression tests. What if, when starting a new sites project, we already have something we can work on? And third, last but not least, when you go on Monday to work, think about what your daily work looks like. And think of how you can standardize that work so that we can incorporate one of these solutions. Wouldn't it be cool to ease our work in the way we've just shown you? We will end with the words of the father of modern computing, which are as true today as they were in 1947. What we want is a machine that can learn from experience. Thank you very much.